Good afternoon, I'm Angela Brandt. I've had this relatively unusual experience for most of my adult life, where I'm frequently the first person that someone has ever met from South Dakota. So if I'm that for you, any of you, you're welcome, I guess. And I have a bunch of family over here, so if you'd like to meet more of us, most of the state is here at this point, so feel free to stop by. But even if you didn't grow up on a farm with 6 rowdy siblings in South Dakota, or if you've never even been to South Dakota, we have something in common. Each of us in this room are here today because of the commonality of the National Association of Women Lawyers. And that commonality is powerful. You know those people in your life who believe in you before you do? I've been blessed with a number of them, starting with my parents, who instilled in me the belief that I could do anything I wanted to do, which is exactly why I always knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Maybe I'm still growing up. But you probably guessed what that was. I wanted to be a doctor. I think it was something about gross anatomy lab made law school sound like a really great plan B. But even though I wasn't going to be a doctor, my parents continued to support me. And when I would go home from breaks from school, I would always leave with the same thing: a load of freshly laundered clothes, thank you, Mom, and always the same advice from my dad: study hard and marry somebody rich. He was joking, mostly, but I knew he believed in me, and he knew that I could do anything that I set my mind to, but his advice to me also hinted at the reality that the world might not let me make it on my own. But I always responded to him in the same way: I will make my own money, thank you very much. And now I'm a trial lawyer in St. Paul at the law firm of Larson King. And one of the founders of the firm, Larry King, he's not the talk show host, a different Larry King, he had an enormous impact on my career. When I went to him as an associate and I said, I want to join NAWL, he said, absolutely, that would be terrific for you. And when I met a client contact at a NAWL event and they invited me to their corporate headquarters and I thought I might be in a little bit over my head, he didn't hesitate to get on an airplane and fly there with me. And he made it clear to the client that I was the lead and he was the support. And he did that knowing that he wasn't going to get any credit for that client. Because to Larry King, the relevant question was, how is the team doing? It doesn't matter how many points you scored, how did the team do, and what are you doing to make the team better? Because when we work together as a team, success doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. I always wanted to be a successful lawyer who just happened to be a woman. But I had the luxury of thinking that way because the women of NAWL had been fighting for my right to believe in my goals for 100 years before I graduated from law school. And many of them did that knowing that the fruits of their labor would only be enjoyed by those that came after them. And so in that spirit, I'm asking you today to engage with NAWL to make the profession better for those of us who are here now and those who will come after us. And I have an ask for you. The first part of it is easy. In the packets of materials that you have, there's a blank purple piece of paper. And I would ask you to see if you can find that now, and we'll get back to it in just a minute. As I looked around the very first NAWL event that I attended, I realized I had never been in a room with so many amazing and inspiring women, and I was instantly hooked. I wanted to be with them, I wanted to know them, and in some instances, I actually wanted to be them. And I could feel our commonality, and I knew I wanted to be on their team. And what a terrific team it is. Thank you, Leslie Richards-Yellen, for your incredible leadership over this last year, for your focus and helping us along in our journey to be more diverse and inclusive. I also want to thank the NAWL staff, my fellow board of directors, many of the past presidents in the room. I am and NAWL is indebted to you for all of your service over the years. And on a more personal level, I want to thank my family, my law partners, and my friends who are here today. My dad and Larry King aren't here today. I lost both of them to cancer inside of about 5 months, 3 years ago. How do you continue to thrive when the people that believe in you the most are no longer there? Well, from a professional standpoint, NAWL was there, just like it has been for all of us for over 100 years. In the words of Native American leader Tecumseh, a single twig breaks, but the bundle of twigs is strong. You see, in life, as in our efforts to achieve equality in the legal profession, we cannot do it alone. And we will not be paralyzed because we don't have a perfect plan or a perfect solution. We must simply try. So this is where I return to the purple pieces of paper. NAWL's executive director, Jenny Waters, already got your commitment. I heard it. And it's on tape. So if you are willing to engage with us in NAWL this year to help make the team better, please raise those pieces of paper up in the air. Look around the room. It's powerful. Now, this is my personal invitation to each of you. I'd like you to write your name and your email address on those pieces of paper and write down how you will engage with NAWL this year. And it can be in a traditional way, being a member, renewing your membership, joining an affinity group, planning an event. But these pieces of purple paper are blank on purpose because we want you to be creative. And if you have your own ideas about how you can best engage with NAWL, we'd love to hear them. And if you want to engage but you have no idea how, just let us know and we will find your position on the team. We'll collect the purple pieces of paper outside after the luncheon, but if you're inspired by later speakers and you have more ideas, feel free to fill them up. Thank you for your time. I cannot wait to see the strength that we'll have when we support one another, when we bundle our efforts and join to make our collective voice louder for women in the law.